We love our pets. They're our best friends as we navigate life's ups and downs with a wag or a purr just when we need it. The Royal Veterinary College is there for our pets, home to Europe's largest small animal referrals hospital, with over 200 specialists providing expert care 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The bond between a pet and their person is worth fighting for, and that's the belief that inspired the RVC Memory Tree, a beautiful handmade sculpture standing in the heart of the RVC Small Animal Referrals Hospital, adorned with gold, silver and copper leaves, each one engraved with the name of a beloved pet, and each one funding the extraordinary work happening there every day. For just £10 a month, you can dedicate a leaf in the name of your pet, celebrating your pet's life, whilst also helping to fund life-saving treatment and care for animals in need. Visit rvcact.com/memory tree to dedicate a leaf today and let your pet's memory live on.
Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and each week I'm joined by a panel of guests to discuss all things fandom and pop culture, primarily from a female perspective. You'll find everything from fanfic to cosplay to Schitt's Creek to Supernatural and everything in between. So put on your favorite piece of fandom merch, set aside that fanfic that you're writing about your OTP, and sit back and enjoy this week's episode. Hello and welcome. We have been off for a while and I haven't recorded anything in 3 weeks. That is like so mind-boggling to me. Like literally 3 weeks ago today, we're recording on Sunday, August 9th. And it's just blowing my mind. It's just, I miss it when I'm not doing it. And it's felt so weird not recording. So I'm glad we're back. But I'm your host, Erin Marlowe. And welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. I know we haven't had a pop culture episode in 2 weeks either, so I'm glad to be back. And on Friday, we are going to be talking about Practical Magic. I wanted to do an episode leading up to the sequel to Practical Magic. And I'm thinking, and I will invite my panelists if they want to be on, I'm thinking in September as another additional bonus, or maybe in October, we will do a bonus episode for our Patreon subscribers talking about Practical Magic 2. I can see Moth is clapping. I don't know if Kim wants to be in that too, but I just thought it would be a nice little follow-up there. And unfortunately, this week, KJ from the Southern Colorado Women in Horror Festival, unfortunately, is unable to be here. She was supposed to be on these recordings, and so just sending you love, KJ, and hopefully we will have you on again soon. Maybe I'll invite you for the Practical Magic 2 recording. And KJ will be part of our horror trivia event in October. And I know Kim will be. I haven't received anything from Moth, so I don't know. And and KJ will be on one of our Obsession episodes. And KJ, the Obsession episode that KJ is going to be on, will also be featuring the two people on today. So let me introduce my panelists. So first up, the co-host of Big Reputations Pod, which I know you did a special episode on Practical Magic, right, Kim?
We did, yes. It was a movie that Rebecca had never seen and I've seen a million times. So it was like her really watching it and me like explaining it to her. Like she hated it.
I know.
Our friendship it still stands somehow. I don't know.
Well, hi, Kim. It's so nice to see you. It's cool because it's only been a little bit since you've been on. Currently one of our most popular episodes, Independence Day. Kim was on that one. That was the last one we had on. So that has been an extremely popular episode. And then also one of my co-hosts from It's a Dean Thing Pod, Moth, who hasn't been on. This is your first time this year, right? On this podcast?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my gosh, that's so weird. But it's because I see you all the time because of It's a Dean Thing. So, but it's so weird that this is the first time you've been on this year. But Moth will be back a lot in October and December for Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake.
Like, don't worry, y'all will get sick of me.
No. Well, I'm happy to have both of you on. So let's get to some pop culture and fandom news. So, Kim, what is one thing you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day because I saw it and I'm obsessed with it. And Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man. I just love him so much. And so I saw it last Tuesday and I want to go see it again. I don't know when I will, but I really want to go see it in theaters again. And like, no spoilers, but like, clearly they're not in high school anymore. And I feel like they did such a perfect way of like aging them up. Like, they're young adults and it's really great to see. I think that the film like honored friendship and, you know, not being a kid anymore in such a really great way. Also like grief, because like if you've seen the other ones, you like know what happened. So Peter's mourning, he's mourning his friendships, he's mourning his family. And I don't know, it was such a really beautiful way to do it and a thoughtful way to do it that I feel like a lot of people could relate to. I like the way they're doing the Spider-Man. Like, you know, like the tagline is with great power comes great responsibility. But like that's in the foreground of all of his actions, like everything he does. If he wrongs someone, he calls himself out. If he makes somebody feel uncomfortable, like he apologizes. Like he really rights his wrongs. Like he's such a man of justice. And like accountability from a man is so rare. So when it's like in this package of like a very funny movie on top of that it's amazing. So I loved it. I know it's doing well. It doesn't need me to like hype it up. It's making all the money. But like if you haven't seen it and you're like on the fence, I loved it so much. I can't wait to see it again. I think it's so good. I can't wait to see what they do after this. Like I want more. He's gonna have to be Spider-Man until he's 50 because I need more.
Till he's in the retirement home. He's like 75, 80 or 90. We're like, wait. No, that's good to hear. And yeah, we'll be talking a little bit about the success of Spider-Man during our main topic at the very end. Because yeah, it has like broken records. It's like one of the most successful movies ever. And so it's good to hear that it's good too. So yeah, I grew up with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I'm not a huge Tobey Maguire fan, but I did like those movies for the most part, except for the one with the dancing scene.
I blocked that one out of my brain. I like don't remember how the dancing happens, but I know it's there, and I just like I don't think about that movie. I blocked it out.
Yeah, it's delightfully cursed. I remember the dancing scene randomly sometimes, like an internet pop-up ad, like just whoa, that happened. And it's gone.
An internet pop-up ad. And then I do think Andrew Garfield deserves a little bit more respect than he gets for that. But I do agree that Tom Holland is really good in that role. So I haven't seen it yet. I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, but that's good to hear. That's one thing because I'm very, very sick of Marvel. But I do have to say, the Spider-Man didn't really like. I don't know. For me, it's so separate from the other Avengers stuff that because it's not really part of it. So I'm not as sick of that as I am of like Avengers and Marvel and stuff like that. So, yeah. Okay, so Moth, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I went to go see the pro shot of Hadestown, and I haven't been able to stop listening to the album of it and just watching and finding different slime tutorials online of different performances. And the way different actors embody the different characters. So the different Hades, different Eurydices, different Orpheuses. But the one thing that I haven't been able to stop listening to, and this is going to be my kind of Hadestown hot take, is that the best version of the epic 3 song, which is kind of basically the song within the show that Orpheus sings to Hades to convince him to take Eurydice back from the underworld. The best version of that, in my opinion, is the off-Broadway version, just because I feel like that has a lot more depth and emotion in the lyrics, and I feel like it got overly simplified for Broadway, and the off-Broadway version just, like, it sounds convincing enough that I can believe that this is a song that made Hades say, okay, you can take her back with you. That's how I feel about it. And I will share the link in the It's a Theater Thing channel. I will also share an edit that I found that someone edited to sound like it was being sung in a cathedral, which I love. So I will share both of those because in my mind, Off-Broadway Epic 3, best version of that song, hands down.
Yeah, I should see this in the theater because I was very fortunate in May to be able to see Hadestown live at the Denver Center for Performing Arts. And even though we were like seated, like the seats we got were like literally almost in the way back balcony kind of area. But it was fantastic, really powerful show. I went with my sister, and my sister hates musicals, but my sister loved it. So if you are not a musical fan even, I think that should be a ringing endorsement as well for it. So I think it's fantastic. And I know they've been in the news lately with the new cast, and they made the right decision and fired somebody who made some very transphobic and racist remarks in the past. And so I'm glad that they did that because I know our cast had at least one, I don't know if there were a couple of non-binary actors. And so I'm very glad that they did the right thing and fired that person. And that should also tell you, if you want to have a great career, maybe like be a good person. And then if you're not a good person.
Yeah. Especially in theater.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Especially because there's just so many, like, I think I can count the number of straight people that I know in theater on one hand. And that's being generous. Again, it's like, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a good career or be open-minded.
I used to do theater. I used to help run a small independent theater in Colorado too and stuff. So yeah, I agree. Well, awesome. I'm going to have to see that in at the movies as well. So I love that they're doing stuff like that because theater is not always accessible to everybody. And that's the one thing is that sometimes theater can be very inaccessible or harder to see, or depending where you live, like you might not even get theater productions. So I'm glad that they're doing stuff like that. Okay, well, I was going to bring up a show and I'll probably bring it up next episode, but I'll just quickly say the show Furious on Hulu is absolutely fantastic. But if you watch it, huge trigger warnings for domestic violence, trafficking, sexual assault, grooming, all that kind of stuff. So it's a heavy watch, but it is good. It's about a FBI agent tracking down a serial killer who is a woman. That is not a spoiler. You know this from the very beginning. So I just quickly, I'll talk about that more probably in our next pop culture episode because I want to watch a few more episodes first. But what I want to talk about is AI, lovely AI. And there are quite a few things that have to do with the AI that are pissing me off right now. I'm not going to go too deeply into what's happening with a festival in Colorado just because the way these people are, I'm not sure what they will do right now. So but just know if you are promoting art in your festival and you know that there is evidence that artist, one of those artists that you're promoting, does use AI in their work, don't gaslight people and tell them that is not true when it's so easy to find on their Instagram and their LinkedIn page because it's obvious there. And AI looks awful. It's too clean, too polished, usually looking. So you can spot AI and it sticks out, and just be honest and upfront about it if you're actually going to use it, which you shouldn't. But if you are, at least be honest and upfront with the people that attend it and don't try to gaslight and turn off comments when it looks like allegedly there might be AI art being used. So yeah. But the AI I'm going to talk about is in a promo for the new upcoming movie, The End of Oak Street. The End of Oak Street is the one we did. Jen and I reacted to it because Jen and I are two of the only people that don't like It Follows. And so I had to watch it because it's written and directed by the same person who did It Follows. And it's the one with Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, and it involves dinosaurs and everything. And, it's like an apocalyptic end of the world kind of thing as well. And there is a dog in there, and cute dog, like a cattle dog looking dog. And recently they did an AI promo with the dog. There are these AI dog podcasts out there. And so they did one of those versions of the podcast with that dog. It is so atrocious looking, so horrible looking. And now a lot of people don't want to go see the movie, which I understand that. We don't know. There is nothing that is pointing to AI being used in the film at all. I do want to say It's sad to me that the people that worked on this movie are going to, like the people who worked on the production side of the movie are going to probably suffer for the fact that Warner Brothers did this, that their marketing department did this. And why? You have this cute dog there. You can market with the actual dog. You don't need the AI. They did early marketing with this dog where it was really cute. They had Ewan McGregor, Anne Hathaway, and the actors playing their kids. Sorry, I don't know their names off the top of my head. And the dog, they would call the dog and they would just see who the dog liked more. And the first person it would go to, that person would leave and then they'd keep going. And Ewan McGregor was the very last one. And it was cute and funny and sweet, And also look at the marketing last year from Good Boy. You had Indy out there just being Indy. And Indy wasn't even a trained dog. And this dog is like a trained movie dog. So just look at that. You didn't need AI to promote Good Boy. You just needed Indy. And to do this and to spit in the face of all of the people that are working on this movie, all the people that worked hard on it, the people that might not embrace AI. If all of these people are embracing it, then screw them all. But I don't honestly believe that until I see evidence of that. So it's just gross. Why do we need this marketing? It looks terrible. It looks like no offense to 2-year-olds, but it looks like a 2-year-old did it. It's not entertaining. There's a whole TikTok account of these dog podcast AI things. And dogs are cute on their own. And it's also creepy looking, frankly. It doesn't appeal to me. And like I watched one creator talking about it and saying probably people that had never heard of this movie are now not going to want to see it. Probably more people are not going to want to see it because of this advertising than are going to want to see it. So why do this? I mean, you had and granted, I haven't watched this movie and I've heard actually that they might have used some AI and it's not supposed to be good. But that new movie, that new Netflix movie it's another end of the world movie. Why am I forgetting the name of it? The Last House. Where they're like trapped in the house with Greta Lee.
Yeah, you showed us. I saw the preview for that on this. I didn't know they used AI in that.
Supposedly, I don't know this for a fact. So, but they had this marketing campaign. This is genius, okay? Even though I've heard the movie is terrible, but they had this marketing campaign in LA where they had a billboard for the movie and they had like a house there and an actual living human being is living in this house that has these windows where everybody can see them.
That's very cool.
Look at that that is genius. And then you do this slop when you have so much money. It's just, it's infuriating. It's so infuriating. And that on top of, remember, don't see the Ice Cream Man, the Eli Roth movie, because Eli Roth is a piece of alleged Zionist trash. And he used some AI allegedly in there. He actually has said that there was, and it's supposed to be a horrible movie anyway. But yeah, it's just such a turnoff. I actually was excited to see this movie. I thought it looked like fun, even though I'm not, I'm very wishy-washy on the writer-director, but this makes me turned off from the movie, So this is so stupid. Come on. There are so many creative people. So it's infuriating. So let's stop with the AI BS, please, people. It's not needed in creative aspects. And by doing that, you also are destroying the environment for this stupid dog AI crap. I mean, you have the actual dog. That's what infuriates me about it, is you have the living dog. I mean, my gosh, Indy basically sold Good Boy. It's like just by looking at a camera. Why would you need the AI? So stop it.
Sorry. So I had to Google this AI dog podcast because I can't even understand a world where someone would listen to that or watch it. But there's an article on Business Insider that's like, are these AI dog podcasters the next big thing in Hollywood? ? Are they? Well, they've been doing this since 2025. This is a thing that I did not know was a thing. Who's this for? I feel crazy because I love dogs. I have a dog.
Me too.
I've never thought, what if he had a podcast? It just feels so odd to me. I don't understand what people are doing. This is weird. This is very weird.
Yeah. And, it's not just dog podcasts. There are AI podcasts are a thing now. Regular podcasts, people putting in what they want to hear about and creating a quote unquote podcast.
I'm so behind, and I think I'm okay being behind because I didn't know this was a thing. That's so weird.
I'm going to call it out. That's so dumb, though, because there is a vast world of podcasts.
You can find anything you want to listen to. Someone's talking about it. You don't need to generate
like an
person.
Actual human.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Who sits down and does the reresearch and like then does
or it's just passionate about it.
Yes.
You know? And like cares about it. And the only water that they're taking up is the one they serve themselves while they sip.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's so infuriating. So yes. So please stop with it. And it doesn't even look good. That's the thing that irritates me the most about it. But the problem is the more it's embraced, the better it's going to start looking. Mm-hmm. Because I will say there are a lot of writers on AO3 right now, or Archive of Their Own, which if you don't know, that's where most fanfic can be found, are being accused of using AI when they're not using AI. So there is that issue of like, there are these things you can run stuff through and supposedly find out if it's AI. There's a lot of flaws in that system. So things that are not AI have been flagged as AI, like even things written like decades ago. So there is that cautiousness of the better it gets, the more people are going to be calling out stuff and saying it's AI when it's not AI. So that's the other thing, is to do like a lot of try to research and don't embrace the AI when you see it, because if you embrace the AI when you see it, it's going to make them make more money, and then they're going to make it better and better. So that's my one worry, because right now I think it looks like shit. But, you know, the longer they keep doing it, the more they're going to be able to, you know, finally tune it, you know, down with AI. Okay, well, when we come back, we're going to watch the trailer that is taking the world and IKEA by storm. And I wasn't going to play this because I was like, well, everybody's watched it, but I'm like, no, we have to talk about this. And that's the trailer for the movie Wicker. And to let you know, the suit that you know,
Skarsgård.
Thank you. How am I forgetting how did I forget his name? I love him. Alexander, yes. The suit that Alexander Skarsgård is wearing is actually a 3D modeled suit. So it's not AI. Some of it is CGI, but not AI. That's CGI is totally different than AI. So anyway, we're going to watch the NSFW, the not suitable for work, even though this is the tamer version of the trailer for the upcoming movie Wicker with Olivia Colman and Alexander Skarsgård and other amazing people. So we'll be right back.
Everything feels easier in the summer, or at least it should. The days are a little more relaxed, and you just want those pieces that are comfortable and can be worn again and again. This episode is sponsored by Quince. Quince focuses on well-made essentials that naturally become those everyday staples you actually live in all season long. Their tees are soft enough to live in all day, and their lightweight cotton sweaters are exactly what you want when summer nights cool down. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories to cut out the middlemen, so you're paying for exceptional quality, not brand markup. Quince's linen shirt is a game changer. You can wear it an embarrassing number of times this summer, and it never goes out of style or out of comfort. And Quince isn't just about clothing. It has become a trusted favorite for everything from home to travel to everyday essentials. Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/wizardio for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/wizardio for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/wizardio.
Okay, so it's that time. So click pause on us and then click the link for the Wicker trailer in the show notes. You probably have already seen this. You've probably seen all of the TikToks. This trailer is just taking over everything, but it is not suitable for work. So if you're like in a place where people can hear it, there are some sexual noises and stuff. So just be aware of that. But when you click play, you will hear our thoughts. Okay, so we just watched the trailer for Wicker, which probably all of you have seen a bazillion times or seen clips or seen, like IKEA said when they were advertising some Wicker recently, they were like, here's husband material, or we're not going to judge why you're suddenly interested in this. So, Kim, are you ready for this woody, hard wicker tale?
I am. I'm like not much of like a smut reader, but I have lots of friends who are. So I always get like crazy plot TikToks, like, and this is not even the craziest plot I've heard. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And then the more I watched like more trailers or watched it again, I was just like, you know what? This cast is perfect because they're all just quirky enough and into like weird enough like plots for this to work. Because it felt like a skit at first, but I was like, no, they're leaning into it. Like this is gonna be really good. Like I'm excited to be entertained by this movie. I'm going. Like I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see this in theaters. But speaking of marketing, look at IKEA. What wonderful marketing. No AI needed. Just a great joke. Like I saw that. I laughed so hard. I was like, I don't need anything from IKEA, but I would go buy something right now because they made me laugh so hard.
Yeah. And although there's one TikTok that's really funny of someone like where it's that, and I looked at him and he looked at me, or that, that whole thing. And it's just someone looking at like wicker baskets and stuff. And it is just so
the world has
hilarious.
gotten very creative with their TikToks around this movie, which it's making me want to see it more. Like it's generating its own buzz. Like I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, lots of the smash, pass ones,
On just generic like wicker baskets.
Yep.
Or, like what kind of breeding you think that his member is made out of. Those are really funny.
And I can't wait to see the cast like promoting this movie too.
That's gonna be fun.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. So Moth, your thoughts?
I am so excited for this movie. The monster fuckers are coming out of the woods for this, and I am so here for that. Like, listen, and this is not a premise that is unfamiliar to me. Like, I've read the book about the lady sleeping with her door, the lady sleeping with her espresso machine, her mixer, balloon, ruler, glue stick. It's her junk drawer. Like, it's like, I'm here for all the fun, silly, fun stuff. And also, I've been saving this. I could have said it in the Discord when we were talking about the movie, but I wanted to say it here in this platform. I'm often not a fan of popcorn buckets because I feel like they oftentimes are really gimmicky and miss the mark more often than not because you're paying like $40 for like a tin, basically. That's not like super cool. Or you're paying like $60 for a table that you can't really hold popcorn. But I need the popcorn. Like I feel like this movie needs a popcorn bucket, and I feel like the ideal popcorn bucket would be a wicker ween. It would be perfect. And you can make it as big or as small as you want to, because it's a wicker thing. Yeah. I also feel like they should have, how they have like those little dinosaur pills that you put in water and then you have a dinosaur? They should have something like that, but with like a little wicker man inside that just grows inside. Because as someone in the Discord channel mentioned, it tends to grow in water.
Yep.
Fun stuff. I love it. I'm so excited.
So marketing people, if you're listening to this, there are some great ideas for you. I agree with all of those ideas. I think they're all fabulous and wonderful. I could even see you could do like a popcorn if they ended up not doing the ween one, because I could see them going, well, we can't do that. It's, but you could do one that has some kind of like, I don't know, attachment that what it is, but they don't say what it is, kind of thing. But yeah, I love those ideas. I love the expanding one as well. So yeah. I read a lot of smut. I've read a lot of smut on AO3 mainly. I used to, when I was like in my like late teens, early 20s, and I used to go on a lot more road trips. And we would always stop at like a grocery store somewhere, and we'd pick up one of those like smutty little, novels that has like the bodice ripper kind of novels, where it has like the two people on the cover, and we would read it during our road trip out loud. So I am used to reading really bizarre premises, mainly on AO3. Like there's stuff that I personally don't like reading, but there's like almost any kink you could possibly think of, you're going to be able to find there. And so this is really coming from that mind. And that's not to me an insult at all. I think this is such an ingenious premise, and to set it in the time they set it in, which is actually a time period that I usually don't like movies that are set in that time period. But to set it in that time period actually makes it even more appealing for some reason. And Olivia Colman being able to be, which I guess she did that a little bit in The Favorite, but being the object of desire in this, as far as like, from what you can tell, is getting a lot of the sex scenes and everything, and is showing a woman having pleasure as well, is such a rarity, especially right now. There's Gen Z and stuff is really known for really not liking, like, and Gen Alpha for not wanting sex in movies and stuff. So, anyway, that's a whole other thing. So it's nice to see something where, I don't know, sexuality is embraced, but not in this disparaging way. And it just looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. And I can't wait for the promotional tour for this, for the actors being interviewed, especially Alexander Skarsgård, because if you've ever watched him when he's been in movies where there's anything like quote unquote bizarre or weird or kinky, he leans so heavily into it. So I am very excited to see him on the red carpet. That whole family is just so wonderfully bizarre and amazing. And yeah, he's one of the few blondes that I'm like, yes, anytime. Smash. Yeah. Over and over again. Even as a Wicker man, yes. And I don't mean Wicker Man like, the movie Wicker Man. Although, hey, has there been any mashups between Wicker Man and Wicker? There should
I
be.
haven't seen any. But imagine that's going to confuse some people. There's going to be someone who's going to be like, oh, I loved Wicker Man. I'll go see this. And they're going to be in for a rude awakening.
Or a happy one. You never know.
Or a happy one, yeah. They could be pleasantly surprised. Yeah. And also shout out to Peter Dinklage. And if you haven't seen it yet, I think you can still stream it on Hulu. The Toxic Avenger, which, you have to be in the mood for something that's extremely gory. But I always want to support that because, they put a lot of the money they made into paying off medical debt. So Cineverse did. So always a shout out to that movie. And Peter Dinklage, of course, plays the Toxic Avenger in that movie. So, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about some happy news. And the happy news is that the box office is back, at least for now. It is doing tremendously well this year. It's on track to be the biggest one since the pandemic. And I am very, very excited about that. So we'll be right back to talk about that. Okay, so there was a lot of doom and gloom in Hollywood, especially when it came to movie theaters. And movie theaters seem to be dying down. And the headlines would be, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter article, was that the box office doom loop was declared in the LA Times. The movie theater comeback that was blazed in Variety. And all these other, reports, including the Hollywood Reporter, the summer box office crisis, is the sky really falling this time? And then all of a sudden this year, it seems like things have turned around. You have, of course, Project Hail Mary kind of kicked it off, which made $684 million. And then in March, you had the movie Michael, which made $1 billion, or that was in April, sorry. And then Obsession, of course, is on track to be right now, it's in the top 5, I believe, of the most successful independent movies ever made. Right now it's at $475 million. Then Backrooms made $390 million, The Odyssey $911 million. And then, of course, you had Toy Story 5, I guess, made a lot, Super Mario Galaxy movie, and then now Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is breaking records left and right as well. Nearly $1 billion globally in just a handful of days, and an all-time record opening of $360 million domestic. And you still have films coming out like the Dune movie. You have Zach Kreger, who, of course, did Weapons and Barbarian, his Resident Evil reboot. There's the DC horror effort Clayface. There's a new Hunger Games movie. All of these things coming out still to look forward to. So it appears right now that the box office is back and theaters are back. So Kim, what are your thoughts on this? And do you think this will last?
I really hope it will last because I'm someone, I love seeing the movie on the big screen. I much rather see it that way. I feel like I get much too distracted at home. I do remember, I think it was the beginning of this year, maybe the end of last year, that Netflix CEO was trying to tell us that like going to the theater was outdated. So I feel like people are like, hold my beer, I'm going to the theater. Like, I don't need you telling me what I'm watching or where I'm watching it. So I'm hoping that people will keep going, especially if there's like creative things coming out that bring them to the theater. Like, nobody wants any AI slop. Like, please don't send that out because, of course, I'm not going to go see that. So I'm hoping that people will go if things are good. So, like, if you keep up both ends, the circle has to be there. Like, I got tickets for the Odyssey and IMAX, and that took like 3 weeks, and I'm going like September 1st at 10 a.m.
Wow.
It took forever to get tickets. It was a real battle, but I was like, I love this battle. That means like everyone's going. Like, it's a really long movie too. So it's like they're doing like 5 showings a day, but it took me 3 weeks to get tickets. So I love seeing people go. I'm hoping that it does continue. I'm hoping it's not just because it's so hot and people need to somewhere to go, but I think if the demand is there, that people will go and it'll be worth the trip. Because like, I love going to theaters. I'm still going to Alamo. I don't love Alamo anymore. But when I go to other theaters, the theater etiquette from some people, I get why people don't go because I don't want to put up with those people just on their phones. Like, I just saw a TikTok, someone opened like a Chromebook and started working in the middle of a showing of Spider-Man.
What the?
Absolutely insane. Like, I could not deal with that. So I'm still going to Alamo, and I'm just like, I'm smuggling in food at Alamo now. I'm taking it very like early 2000s. But I hope people keep going. Like, I hope people keep going, and maybe theater etiquette will change because it's like, well, I got yelled at last time I was on my Chromebook, so like I can't do that anymore. Like, yeah, hopefully it keeps up. Like, we need it. I love going to see movies in person, and I think other people do too.
Yeah. I went to go see. It was actually Leviticus because where it was playing, the Alamo it was playing at, it was further away and the timing didn't work. So I was like, I'm just going to go try and see a movie at AMC just to see if I could break away from Alamo. And the fact that the commercials were the whole first, because I'm so used to the Alamo pre-show. And so having like 30 minutes of commercials and then like 10 minutes of commercials when the movie started, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And luckily I had a good crowd, but I've been before when there wasn't a movie at Alamo before they changed to QR codes. And there was a person like next to me, and no matter how many times I said stop it, who was on their phone like off and on throughout the whole movie, like texting. And I'm just like, why do you pay all this money to sit there? And it's so stupid. So I hear you, Kim. I can't cancel my, I just can't do it.
No, it's so bad.
I just can't do it because even with that QR thing and everything like that, it's still so much better than
And for Spider-Man, I went to a baby day showing. So there was literally a man holding a 9-week-old baby next to me. It was the quietest thing I had ever been to. It was so quiet. Like, there were kids who were like a little bit, I have a child, so I'm like used to like the crying, but like it was such a quiet showing. And like I forgot what I saw in AMC like a couple months ago, and it was just like so loud. There was like 10 people in there and they were all talking, and I was like, what is this? So like even Alamo at its worst is better than anything else that I'm going to. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So Moth.
Yeah, I also hope this trend continues because, like Kimberly said, I love getting the opportunity to go see movies in theater. That's something I always loved doing growing up. It's something I've loved throughout every point of my life. There's just something about it. Just, even just walking into a theater and just smelling the popcorn, you're like, I'm here. Like, even if you don't buy any, you're like, oh, yeah, this is the place. Like, what is it that Nicole Kidman pre-show? It's like, this is where magic happens or whatnot. But it's true because it's you get to share this wonderful experience of watching a film with, even if you go by yourself, with like a community, and even though you're all there separately, you're all there together, if that kind of makes sense. And if you have a good crowd, which thankfully anytime I've gone to the theater that's by me, it's a Cinemark, knock on wood, people have been really respectful. They've been really kind. No one's been overly disruptive. It's only during the Marvel movies that the animals come out, which is why I no longer go see Marvel movies in theaters. That among other reasons. But it's there's just something about it, and I just enjoy it when I can. And also, there's something to be said for the talent one acquires of sneaking food into a theater. I feel like that should be I feel like I should be able to add that into under skills on my resume, like can smuggle goods.
A lot of
Safe
pockets.
goods.
A lot of pockets. Yeah. Cargo pants.
Decent, like a purse that's bigger on the inside than the outside. It's like a Mary Poppins purse, you know. You just oh no, it's just my Kleenex and my pens. Nothing else is in here. No. But yeah, I love it. Also, I don't know, I've never tried this at Alamo, but the theater by me, they let you bring in a pillow and a blanket if you want to, because the theaters get really cold, or at least their theaters are really cold. So I'll just show up with a blanket and sometimes a plushie or like a small pillow or something, just so you can get really comfy for my viewing experience, because I'm there to enjoy it. And yeah, like you mentioned, Erin, there's a lot of really good movies coming out for the rest of this year. Like you mentioned some of them, like The Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping. Also another prequel. I've read the book, loved it. I'm so excited for that film. And I anticipate that I will also have a hard time getting tickets because a lot of people are going to want to go see it. And I'm excited for that. Also, I think something that will help with the box office numbers and crowd is the Avengers film is coming out later that year.
Oh, yeah.
In December. I'm personally very excited for the Robert Eggers werewolf film. It's coming out in December. Because Nosferatu is also my holiday movie, quote unquote, and Werewolf is going to be my holiday movie as well. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good time, and I really do hope it continues so that people keep going to the theater and people keep learning good theater etiquette so that we're not acting crazy in movie watchings.
Yeah. Yeah, and they will let you bring a pillow and blanket, Moth, because my sister brings, she calls it her movie theater blanket. Because Alamo gets freezing as well. So yeah, I always forget to bring something, and I'm like, oh, I always forget I'm going to be freezing cold in here. But yeah, this brings me a lot of joy and a lot of happiness because movie theaters are like my safe place and one of my favorite places in the world to be. And I love going to movies alone. I go to a lot of movies alone, but you're also in a community there while you're watching it. And you shouldn't be talking to anyone anyway. So it's not like you're going to be sitting there having a conversation. At least you shouldn't be. Some people do, of course. But I love movie theaters. Just always have. It's always been my favorite place since I was a little kid. And, the very first movie I remember vividly seeing in the movie theaters was Back to the Future. And that just really, really solidified my love of the experience, because there is just something about that communal experience of seeing a movie with a good crowd and if you're all into it. Like seeing Obsession for the first time was like that, or a lot of horror movies can be like that. I think that's one of the best ones for communal viewing. Watching Weapons last year was like that. Watching Barbarian was like that. So lots of those kind of experiences are so much fun. And this just brings me joy also because a lot of the people going to the movies are the younger generation. A lot of it is Gen Z. And that makes me really happy because that gives me hope that it's not just like, I'm Gen X, but it's not just like Gen X or millennials or even boomers feeling like nostalgic or anything. It's like a younger generation wanting that and wanting original stuff too. Because yes, Spider-Man is doing really well, but a lot of these that are doing so well are original work and they're not part of an IP. And so that brings me even more joy. And that generation also is embracing physical media again. They're embracing vinyl. They're embracing DVDs. They're embracing Blu-ray, everything like that. And that makes me happy too, because we cannot lose physical media. We just can't lose that. And so hearing the numbers and seeing how successful some of these movies have been really brings me such great joy. And I really, really hope this is a sign for the future and not just some weird 2026 glitch. So fingers crossed that this continues. And I know when you mentioned the heat of like the summer and maybe that's why. Well, though the first one that did this was Project Hail Mary and that was in
Sure.
March. So that's hopeful. And that's like in a time when usually that's like nearing the period when movie theaters might get a little bit more busy, but it's still kind of a dead zone. And also, even though it's not listed in here, Send Help, even though it didn't do as well as these others, did actually do really well. And that was a January release. So that's more, amazing. So yes, more of this, please. More movie theaters. And remember movie theater etiquette, everybody, please. Okay, so that'll do it for this week's Pop Culture and Fandom News episode. I almost said this week's Project Hail Mary episode. But we're going to go ahead and close out, and I'm going to have my two lovely panelists tell you where they can be found and where their podcasts can be found. So Kim, yes, big reputations, quote unquote retired, but you can still listen to it. So tell everybody about that podcast.
Yes. So we just renewed our Podbean account for another year. So you can listen to a backlog. You can hear us talk about women who were judged too harshly. You can hear us talk about different movies. We got that Practical Magic one on there. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Big Reputations Pod. You can also find me on Instagram at KimPlaints_NYC.
Awesome. Thank you. And Moth, one of my co-hosts of It's a Dean Thing. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, so I'm Moth, and you can find me primarily on Instagram as the individual, the artist known as Moth, at _crafting_cryptid, where I post all my fun cryptid side quests. And my dog Benny's Instagram is linked in my bio. That's Benny_Pelucita. But kind of really more so any pictures of him or just any fun little thoughts that I have or any prowling I do online is primarily on the It's a Fandom Thing Discord. But for the It's a Fandom Thing pod, where we talk about everyone's favorite supernatural character.
It's a Dean thing.
It's a Dean thing. But for It's a Dean Thing, where we talk about everyone's favorite supernatural character, Dean Winchester. Yep, everyone. I said it. I generalized. You can find all our pertinent information in the It's Fandom Thing website. There's a tab on there, and you can find our socials, I believe it's our threads, our Instagram, I think it's a Dean Thing Pod,
yes.
Pretty sure. Yeah. And all our episodes are on there. You can also find them on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, such as ours. And this one.
Yes, and we'll have a new episode dropping tomorrow, Thursday, discussing Eric Kripke, because we are wrapping up season 5. And so we're just discussing his run as the showrunner for the first 5 seasons. So yeah. Fergie the dog would hate this dog AI crap. She does not want a podcast like that. She would host a podcast where she would bark and bark and bark and bark. But she is a cute little dog that you can follow on TikTok. She just experienced her very first road trip. She's not a car dog, so we were kind of worried about it, but she kind of adapted well. And she went to go see the ocean for the very first time. My theory was that she was going to bark at it. That's not what happened. She actually loved it. She would try to chase the waves, but then the waves would chase her and she would run away really quickly. So she really loved the ocean. And I have a video of her interacting with the ocean. Don't worry, she was safe the whole time, leashed, all that stuff. And she didn't pee at all on the beach. She didn't do anything there. It was like she kind of knew, let's not do that here. But you can follow her on TikTok at Schroeder and Fergs. That's SCHROEDERANDFERGS. It's long, but it's worth it. To find links to all our past episodes and our social media, including the Discord server that has been mentioned, go on over to our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com. And while you're there, consider becoming a Patreon supporter today. For as little as $3 a month, you get ad-free content, you get episodes a day early, and you get bonus episodes. Like this month, we will have an episode covering the final season of The Bear and an episode covering the vampire Lestat. which is my biggest disappointment of the year so far. I hate saying that, but oh my God, that just disappointed me so much. It makes me sad. But yes, so become a Patreon supporter today. Click the link in our show notes or head on over to the Support Us tab on our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com. And on Friday, we are going to be whipping up some midnight margaritas as we discuss practical magic. So until next time, remember, it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, and free Palestine.